I knew then that Tennessee's for real. It was a place for me to go.
Here comes Peyton Manning. Get used to it.
I wanted to be the leader.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm staying.
From New Orleans, Louisiana, number 16, Peyton Manning.
Go.
Just growing up, I'd always taken an interest in my dad's college playing days. Growing up, he was my favorite player because when I was a kid, he was still playing, so that had a lot to do with it. So he was my favorite football player. Well, I remember laying in my bed just listening to those games. I guess it was Stan Torgerson when he introduced the starting lineup. It was their name and their hometown. The 6'3" redhead from Drew, Manning, brings them to the line, drops back, scrambles, throws a long pass, touchdown, Ole Miss. That's when I really started to, to love the SEC and realize it was a special conference. I realized it would be tough because I was following a legend, but I wanted to do it because he just told me how much fun it was for him. He's still my hero, not just because of the football player he was, but the person he was. He told me, Peyton, you can't worry about who I am. Just be your own person, your own quarterback, and everything will be all right.
They were throwing it around a little bit, and he was having some success and showed a lot of good presence out there. And people began to tell me that, that he was really going to be something special and a college player. Peyton's recruiting created a lot of interest in a lot of circles, but especially in Mississippi.
For a while, I thought it was definitely Ole Miss. And then as it sort of unfolded, it was, gosh, it might be Tennessee. It could be Michigan. It could be Florida.
I understand recruiting. I understand how a lot of kids just can't stand up to it and don't want to continue to take phone calls and make visits and so forth. He did.
Coach Fulmer was the first head coach to come into my house, and that was a big deal. I could tell he probably thought this was a long shot.
I'm sure in his mind he had narrowed some things down, but he wanted to be 100% sure.
The recruiting is not a time to be bashful. It's a time to ask questions. So I was asking Coach Cutcliffe, will I redshirt? What happens if somebody gets hurt? What's your plan for me 2 years from now? How many other quarterbacks are you going to sign? So I was asking questions, and he was real honest with me. That's what I really appreciated about them. I knew then that Tennessee's for real.
I was probably more in the background and supporting what David Cutcliffe was doing with the special relationship that they had.
And that was a big difference because I felt an offensive coordinator, quarterback coach is a guy you got to feel comfortable with. And here I am, 18 years old, and just meeting the guy for the first time. He and I are already talking real comfortably together. We knew it could be a good relationship.
By then, I knew. I just felt like he was not going to Ole Miss, but Mom, in my heart, I want to be a Tennessee Vol. And what could you say? I mean, he had definitely slept on this, meditated, prayed, talked to Archie for endless hours, and it was fine with me.
When it came time to decision time, it was a place for me to go.
I think Peyton went there in the summer getting ready to play. He planned and wanted to play during his freshman year.
I wasn't the most athletic kid coming out of high school. I was tall, I could throw, I could move around a little bit, but I was worried about my physical state, I guess. I wasn't real strong, and I remember I kept asking my dad, well, Dad, what if they make me bench press in front of the other guys and I can only get it one time? And I was worried about that. That bothered me. And he said, Peyton, he said, you go up there, you work hard, you show them that you want to work hard, you show them you want to get better, you're a freshman, and everything else will take care of itself.
I really saw a lot of things special in Peyton the day he walked on this campus.
Peyton was fun to be around, and he was going to bury anything in his path with his work ethic.
Every spare minute that Peyton Manning had, he was up studying film.
Now that I watch film, I leave the door closed. I want to be alone. Well, then I left it open, so when Coach Fulmer or Coach Cutcliffe walked by, who's in there watching film? Well, I should have put a sign outside, Peyton's watching film, but I wanted them to know that I was studying. And you're not brown-nosing, but you want to let them know, hey, I'm not here to play around. I want to learn and do whatever I can. It was tough watching film because you're seeing all these plays, and you don't know the playbook, you don't know the terminology, but you're just, I mean, I have the notebook still, just wrote every little thing down possible. Well, it looks like this receiver's running the post route, although he could be running an out route. And so you're writing down all the options, but just when two-a-day started, I had an idea of what the offense was about, understood some defenses, so I felt like I had a jump going in.
His forte wasn't going to be to look awfully pretty out there in a uniform yet, or awfully pretty going through the bags. He was going to bust his tail. He was going to do the effort things. Where Peyton got prettier was when he went under the center and knew what to do. You go back and you know that there was serious competition at that time, two new highly touted freshman quarterbacks. The thing I do remember is watching those guys go through the bags, do their drills, working hard, them getting out of breath because this competition started day one, drill one.
We're rolling. Here we go. Clock's running.
I remember Coach Cutcliffe, who was great to us during the recruiting process and was your friend, and all of a sudden realized that, hey, this guy's a coach too. And he gets after it. Once the practice starts, he's an intense guy. We're doing these bag drills. We were running all through the bags, and I was like, what's this have to do with playing quarterback? I'm thinking we're going to drop back and read defenses and throw some rounds, and we're running bags like running backs and getting tired. But he's working us. I remember reading in the paper saying, well, Brandon Stewart looked better than Peyton Manning, and that bothered me a little bit.
I think he's looking at Brandon, and Brandon was this stronger looking guy, and I think, you'd see Peyton watching every move everybody would make, very aware of everything going on.
And I can remember one day we were lifting weights together, and he said, you want to go watch some film after we work out? And I said, of course I wanted to. I said, well, I got a test. Maybe we'll do it some other time. Because I didn't want to go with him and watch film. Because if he and I watched it together, we're going to learn the same things. We're going to rewind the same plays and going to be even. I had to get my edge. And so, sure enough, I took a shower and kind of acted like I walked back to the dorm room and made a U-turn, went back up there to watch film, closed the door that time to hide from him, and I started competing. And I wanted to get an edge because I like Brandon, and he and I were friends, but I mean, he could have done the same thing, but that's kind of how that's when I began the competition. I remember on the Friday walkthrough up in UCLA at the Rose Bowl, we were sitting there. Jerry was with the first team. We were going through the dress rehearsal. I remember Coach Fulmer walking by me and whispering in my ear. He says, if you keep going at this rate, he said, you can pass right by Todd. You can go right by Todd and be the number 2 guy. Well, I started getting chills and saying, yeah, that's what I like to hear. I'm impressed with him. I'm doing something right. Well, then, of course, during the game, everything changes.
Colquitt, misdirected, will run, will cut, 40, cuts inside, did not make a first down as he gets to the 39-yard line.
Colquitt limping off.
Colquitt was injured on the play, and he is being helped to the sideline.
I was ready to be the backup and not ready to go in and play right away.
Well, there's one pair of sweaty palms right there, number 16. That's Peyton Manning.
It sounded good to be a backup and just to say, hey, I'm the number 2 guy as a freshman, not to play. All of a sudden, here I am. I got to go in and play now.
Here comes Peyton Manning, making his entry as a quarterback for the University of Tennessee. Get used to it.
Well, I hadn't done anything at Tennessee yet, and here I am coming in saying, hey, I can take you down the field. We're not behind by too much.
He hadn't earned their respect at that particular time. Those linemen had only been around him a short time.
Well, it was my dad's fault. He told me, you take charge when you get in that huddle. Well, they humbled me so quickly. They grabbed me by the neck and just said, shut up and call the play. And I really did. I said, yes, sir, and called it play and didn't say anything extra in the huddle. I was frustrated. I really was. Those 3 plays bothered me because, remember, we got 9 yards on the first play. You're thinking, what a great way to start.
Manning, tailback, right side hole, 25, spinning, 30 to the 31-yard line.
Gets stuffed on the second play.
Manning gives to the fullback.
So we're 3rd and 1. I remember breaking the huddle, going up there, and UCLA's substituting. They're out of whack because they don't know who's supposed to be in the game. And this is a typical freshman quarterback not being in control. Kevin Mays is saying, they don't know what they're doing. Let's go. Snap the ball, snap the ball. So sure enough, I get up there and just kind of say, hut.
Tennessee 3rd down 2. No first down.
Leslie Ratliff's not even in his stance yet. The receivers barely lined up. Nobody's getting off at the same time. So they just come clean through and stuff little man in the backfield. So we get stopped. I remember Coach Fulmer asking me what happened on the sideline. It kind of made me mad because it was my fault, but I was so frustrated. But I was thinking, surely they'll put me back in. I remember telling Coach Cutcliffe, I feel good out there. I can do this. And he said, well, I bet you do. But after the game, I was mad. I said, 3 plays, what's the deal?
You looked pretty comfortable with the things you were trying to accomplish and the things you were doing.
I felt poised out there. I really did. I'm not one of those guys who, just because I'm a freshman and got a completion, I'm happy with that. I was kind of called on to get in the end zone. I didn't get it in, so I have to, work hard this week and try and do better next time. I guess it's given me more of a, exciting opportunity because I realize I'm probably one snap away any time from now on. So it makes you want to work hard in practice and show the coaches that I can do the job and hope, move the team down the field.
This is an emotional landmine for this Tennessee team. They really have to work on recapturing their enthusiasm.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly how Philip Fulmer handles the quarterback situation. Todd Helton, of course, took over after the injury to Jerry Colquitt. He is 1-1 as a starter, but in 2 games now, both freshman quarterbacks have played, Peyton Manning and Brandon Stewart. Tennessee would love to see Helton go all the way and win this game, but there's a chance that if one of the freshman quarterbacks get in today, both of them will get in.
And saw Todd run. He made a move and got about 10 yards, but it was a 3rd and long. And I remember he got up fast and was limping. But saw him go to the bench and didn't think a whole lot of it. But I remember it seemed like I heard the trainer tell somebody else that were saying he's out. And that was tough.
The quarterback will be Peyton Manning, 6'5", 207 freshman from New Orleans.
Todd's gone. I got nobody to lean on. Brandon and I are truly on our own. So that was, I was extremely nervous at that point.
I didn't get all uptight about him having a good game, a bad game, whatever. I didn't want him to have a disaster. I think at that age you can go out and have a disaster and it'd take you a year to recover from it, the confidence factor.
That throw to Kendrick was a play that gave me a lot of confidence. It was kind of a deep out throw, which is kind of a throw you have to be able to make in college football and pro football, and that's sort of a throw I made, and I was sort of surprised at myself and the fact that the cornerback broke on the throw and he couldn't get it because I put enough on the throw, and it gave me confidence to say, hey, I can do this at this level. I can make these kind of throws. Obviously, I need to get better at a lot of things, but it just let me know, hey, I belong on the same field with these guys.
Manning back to throw, waiting, looking, pass down and out is complete to Tennessee 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, 10, 5, give him 6. Touchdown, Kendrick Jones.
Remember him running toward the end zone. I was just standing there and I was shocked. Now I jog down toward the end zone, but I remember I just standing there. I didn't know what to do and looked kind of toward the sidelines and seeing like Corey Gaines and Terry Fair, who were freshmen, who were my friends. They were, way to go, Pate, because we kind of cheered for each other. And that was exciting for me, and just jogged off the sideline. And everybody was excited. I remember after that, Bubba Miller told me, let me tell you 2 things let me tell you 1 piece of advice. When you throw a touchdown, jog down to your receivers and hug your teammates and pat your lineman on the butt on the way down there. And so I started doing that after my first touchdown.
Peyton Manning, the Tennessee freshman, in relief of Todd Helton, who had to leave the game with a twisted knee, has led the Volunteers to the 2 touchdowns and the 7-point lead at halftime.
Hey, who is this guy? You know, he certainly doesn't play like a true freshman.
I thought I came out strong. You know, had a big touchdown there to Kendrick. Felt good. Had one before the half, which was a big play. But second half, you know, turning the ball over, just can't win a ball game when you turn the ball over. And I take the blame on my shoulders for those. And just got to protect the football. And hopefully next week I'll do a better job. That loss is still one of the most disappointing losses during my time here because it was a team we really should have beaten. It's the test where you see what kind of team you have and see what kind of man you are, and I think we'll respond. That week was kind of an interesting week because I felt like I had played well enough against Mississippi State. Felt like I had earned the starting job, but they said they weren't going to announce it till Friday. And in our meeting room, in the offensive meeting room, there's a spot for the starting quarterback. It's the front row, the far left, and that's where the starter sits. And it's a spot you earn, and it's somewhere I've sat for 4 years now, and it's a special seat. Well, I remember they told us that nobody was to sit there during that week, and I really wanted to go up there and sit there, but I wasn't going to do it until I got permission, I guess. But it just didn't look right for that spot to be empty. And but I remember we practiced all week, shared equal amount of reps, and of course it just kept building up. You know, who are they going to start? Well, Friday before practice, Coach Fulmer brought us both into his office and said, "Peyton, you're going to start, but Brandon, you're going to play." And that was kind of all there was to it. And after that, we had a team meeting, and I went and sat in that seat for the first time, and of course haven't given it up since.
There was no way anybody was going to get him out of it, nor should anybody else even bother to sit in it.
As Peyton Manning will be at quarterback, 6'5", 207 freshman from New Orleans.
And then all of a sudden you're playing Washington State. We're predicted to lose the game, and everybody's doubting whether we can win. Yeah, having to play those guys, you could just see how good they were on film. Unbelievable, just fast and big and strong. And I remember about that game, this was the third down, the first series, dropped back to pass, and just nobody was open, and really just kind of threw it up.
Here comes the rush, and he throws it away, and it's intercepted. Ron Childs with the interception. They'll say no, it hit the ground, and Childs and Torrey Hunter can't believe it.
And the guy intercepted it. He caught the pass, and you can go back and watch the film, and the ref does this. It's right in front of their sidelines, too. He says, "No good, hit the ground first." And I remember I could see him catch it clean. I mean, he dove under it. I was just thinking, thank the Lord they didn't call that an interception. What a horrible way to start off your first start in college football, throwing an interception. And so ran off the field, and our defense stopped him, and you kind of get a sense of what the game was going to be like. Don't turn the ball over.
Here comes the reverse on a pitch. Tennessee to the near side. Sylvan breaks it 40. Sylvan 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5. Touchdown, Tennessee!
Peyton, it's got to be great to get that first win on your bet, especially at home and after all adversity this team's gone through.
Absolutely. I think now we kind of got some of our respect back. Tennessee's not used to being 1-3, and to beat a ranked team like Washington State at home, tight ball game is really a great feeling for us and kind of get us on a new start.
I think you're on the right track.
I feel good. I tell you, it's a good win. You know, it's only my second home game, being here at Tennessee, and to see how the fans can support a 1-3 team, for homecoming is really impressive. And it's a great win for us, and hopefully they'll get us going on a good track again. I was showing them, hey, I can do this. Whereas UCLA game, I was having to run over to the sideline and get the signals. I knew the signals. I knew the plays, rarely had somebody out of position, and so those were little things. Now those are some minor things now, but at that point, those were big. Just, hey, I can get it done. I can get you lined up in the right way. I can hand the ball off to little man Stewart, Aaron Hayden, and those guys can get 15 yards. And so I kind of want to let them know you can feel comfortable with me doing whatever you want to do.
Offensively, you did what you had to do to win the ball game. This is a starting point to continue to grow, to build on the foundation for the next 6 weeks to win every cotton-picking game that we are capable of winning, which should be every darn one of us.
I was winning. I remember that. I remember if I can keep doing that, I don't think they should take me out the game. No matter how pretty, how ugly it looks, then I figured I can hang around.
I'll go back to the Alabama game his freshman year as laying the foundation of being a man when it comes to playing quarterback in the Southeastern Conference.
My best game that year was against Mississippi State when we ran the offense that was put in for Todd Helton that week. Tennessee's offense, 5 wides, shotgun throwing, and so we didn't have time to change the offense in the middle of the game. So I went in and did Todd Helton's offense and played pretty well, I thought. But after that, we said, hey, we can't do all that. 5 wides is out of the question. As I look back on it now, it was frustrating to think that they sort of were so conservative, but I understood it.
We kind of tried to protect Peyton and not allow him to lose confidence and put too much burden on him.
Philip Fulmer, David Cutcliffe, and all of them just did a wonderful job of trying not to put him in those bad situations. But as he, there was a game or two where they wanted to let him step out a little bit and pick up more confidence, and Peyton stepped up and did.
You could sense when he knew it was time to let me play ball.
So coming up next, the Crimson Tide and the Volunteers.
Yeah, that was a huge game. You could sense that game building up, and that's when you heard the players say, well, it's the Alabama week, and things are a little different around here, and sensing some of the seniors' experiences with the Alabama game.
Hey, fellas, this is what you come here for. You don't come here to play Kentucky and Vanderbilt. You come here to play Valley. When they had no experience, this is a real deal game, fellas. All right.
It was a heck of a game. It was a great atmosphere, and it was back and forth. You know, as far as whatever Brandon did, I mean, you know, he was helping the team. All I wanted to do was win. I mean, once the game started, he and I weren't competing against one another. He and I wanted to win. Yeah, practice we compete against one another, but all we wanted to do was win. But when it came down to the last drive, yeah, I wanted to be in the game. I wasn't going to say, put Brandon in. He's playing well right now. We have a better chance to win with him. I was going to say, no, I want to be in.
Peyton's instincts took over.
Manning back to throw. Looking down and out pass is complete. Ball down at the 50. Breaks the tackle at the 45. Rolled out of bounds. It goes for Tennessee. 4th down and 8. 67 seconds left to go in the game. Alabama 17, Tennessee 13. Tennessee is 8 yards away from getting a lead over Alabama.
What he did there was as good as I've ever seen of doing what you were coached to do.
Tennessee trails by 4 at the Alabama 7. Manning looking, throwing, downfield, incomplete. Alabama has stopped Tennessee.
Let's talk a little bit about the last drive. Excellent drive, just got bogged down there at the end.
Yeah, we did a good job getting down there, you know, to the 5, and just got to 4th down, and just threw a little high to Nilo. Probably could have had something weak side to little man backside, but just trying to make a play, and it'll be another day.
There will be another day, my friend.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Coach Cutcliffe, during maybe a couple weeks before that, I remember he told us, if somebody's blitzing, and if on one side he's blocked, on the other side he's coming free, well, throw to the side where you're blocked.
The beauty of Peyton Manning is once he learns something, one time, it's in there forever.
And so on that particular play, we were in the shotgun, and they were blitzing on both sides. Well, we were blocked to the left. On the right, the guy was coming free. So I got the ball, and I said, I'm going to do what I'm taught. I'm going to throw to the left side where I'm blocked. Well, you go and watch the film, and you look to the side where there was a free defender coming, and little man Stewart is wide open. There's a guy supposed to be covering him, but he's off of him, and he's late, and so he's wide open.
I hadn't been able as a coach. I let him down. I went straight in the locker room and hugged his neck and told him he had tears in his eyes. It was frustrating for all of us, and told him how proud I was of him as a player, that he did exactly what he was coached to do. And of course, when I had the opportunity to let the media know that, I wanted them to know that, to protect this 18-year-old at the time. And he didn't deserve any criticism of missing an open receiver. He did not miss an open receiver.
You can watch film, learn that playbook, and you can do that all day, and that can give you an advantage. First thing I'm looking at is these safeties. You can see both safeties are backing up right here, and it's just telling me zone coverage right now. And also another thing, pre-snap, you look at the corners alignment. They're kind of facing in. That's not really a man-to-man stance. That's more of a zone stance. So you see that tip zone. Safeties are in a zone alignment right now. Pre-snap, they're backing up. That tells you zone right now. Then you kind of go to these linebackers. This guy's running out of there. This flat ought to be open right here for this back. Actually, right here, they're running the man-to-man route versus zone. That cornerback really shouldn't give that up. He should just sit right there. But the receiver's getting it done. Quarterback's making a pretty good throw right here. I think you have to watch each play 5, 6, maybe even 10 times sometimes to watch every position on every play. But you see this angle, this is kind of what I'm looking at as a quarterback. You see his head, looks like he's looking more at this receiver right here, whereas I try and see both of these safeties. This guy right here, see what he's doing? He sees his eyes, he's going that way no matter what. Even if you're throwing right, you ought to go ahead and flare that left shoulder as if you're going to throw left. That would make him honor that throw.
We went to South Carolina, and that is the game that we made a conscious decision. Here we go. He's ready.
Here's Manning fakes to throw, looking downfield, pass caught, ripped down at the 2, at the 1, give him 6.
I thought after a South Carolina game, I thought I had it. I said, hey, this stuff, it's hard, but I have a good grasp on it. I almost didn't throw an incompletion against South Carolina in that game. Go to Memphis and think going in excited and fired up. We have a good plan for them, and just nothing goes right. Just Kendrick Jones running wide open down the middle of the field. I throw it at his feet, and he's jumping up and down and just throwing an interception, a terrible looking out throw where the guy picks it off, and just nothing's going right, and ended up getting booed a little bit, I remember. Fans started booing, and that was the first time when I sensed that this is a Brandon Payton thing. It's not really everybody's all for Tennessee. There are people who like Brandon and people who like Payton. Yeah, after that game, I remember I didn't play well. And I went back to work just after any ball game. Worked a little harder that week, got ready, and just said, that's not going to happen again.
Manning back to throw. Manning waiting. Good run with the ball, but dumps it into the end zone. Give him 6.
After that, I guess we bring Kentucky at home, I want to say, and played okay that game. Threw a long touchdown pass to Joey Kent and felt comfortable again.
On 3rd down 8, here comes the pressure. Manning in trouble. Manning rolls to the near side, looks for the football, could run with it. Manning at the 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Peyton Manning. Manning's first rushing touchdown. He rushes it from 10 yards away. Maybe not the speedster. He runs about like Archie.
Thought I'd looked pretty fast, felt sort of fast. I got in the end zone, but I remember reading in the paper that it took a whole quarter for Manning to get in the end zone. Well, that bothers me. I don't like hearing stuff like that because I wasn't fast, but I tried to get faster, and I sort of was sensitive about that a little bit during that point in my career. Finished out with Vanderbilt.
On short yardage, Manning to the near side. There he is. Touchdown, Tennessee! As he comes open and Manning rolls out, draws the bead, pops it in, and the Volunteers lead 43-0.
Offensively, just so you guys will know, offensively, you set a single game total offense record today. Congratulations!
It still wasn't big-time numbers or everything, but what he was doing in running the football team was a little beyond a freshman. I think they were very pleased.
We go to Virginia Tech and play in that bowl game. I think everybody, including the coaching staff, was convinced, not being ugly, but Brandon Stewart was probably convinced at that time that there was a great quarterback playing here already. And that was against a real quality defensive football team, and he put on a show.
Back to throw Manning. Manning across the middle. Pass. He is complete. Pulled down by Joey Kent. Made the catch of the 6. Nails it to the 4. First down and goal. Big Orange. Tennessee, this will be Manning throwing the ball deep downfield to a man who races into the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown, Marcus Nash. And again, it was Manning who was actually being hit as he looped that pass into the air.
Well, I thought the bowl game was an opportunity to possibly close the deal. Brandon and I both played against Kentucky, both played against Vanderbilt, and both played against Virginia Tech, but this was the last game before the following season, and at least I was thinking, there's no way we can do this again next year. Somebody's going to be chosen as a starter. So I thought this was, between this game and spring practice, something was going to have to give. And so that game had a little bit more to it besides maybe just winning the game. I wanted to play well in that game and to shine.
Manning, play action, back to throw, long pass, man wide open. Can he make the catch? Oh!
And I wanted to become a starting quarterback at Tennessee full time, not every third series.
Manning in trouble, skips free, will run with the football. Is he fast enough? Yes. 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Has a block, 35, caught and pulled down from behind. But Peyton Manning rumbles downfield.
Yeah, maybe that run against Virginia Tech was kind of a, hey, I can run. I made a couple guys miss, is what it was. I faked out a couple linebackers and took it down the sideline. But yeah, I was fired up after that, and it was exciting. And it was a little, hey, I can run also. I'm proud of the way I've handled that situation because everything was thrown to me pretty fast, and it's the kind of situation where you're either going to do well and get better because of it, or if you have a bad experience early, then you blow up and you're never the same again. I mean, that throw against Mississippi State could have, I mean, if that guy picks that off and runs it back, you know, who knows where I am today. So a lot of little things early in my career which get you started and build that confidence help you out throughout the entire year. But that was a nice award, SEC Freshman of the Year. It was an honor and kind of surprised by it. But I remember even receiving that award, I was saying, this is nice, but I want to be all SEC. I want to be the real all SEC or even an All-American. But I was proud of the fact that we won 7 games and just lost 1 when I was the starter. That's something that you take pride in, your winning percentage as a starting quarterback. And I said, go 7-1 as a freshman. We ought to be able to do better even next year if I am the full-time starter. And so that was the thing I was most proud of that year.
And what it did for him to prepare him for his second year, where he was like a veteran quarterback in his second year in the SEC, and not too many people are that.
Peyton Manning going deep to a wide open receiver. Touchdown, Joey Kent.
Just felt real comfortable with him. And I remember before that season, it was going to be his first year as a starter too. And Coach Cutcliffe was asking me, you know, who have y'all seen that looks good out there throwing? And I said, this guy Joey Kent. I mean, I called him Joey Kent, and I didn't know him barely. I said, this guy Joey Kent can run. He can go and get the ball. I think he's going to have a good year. And just thinking he and Jerry would hook up all year long. It's hard to say what it was. It was just kind of a bond and a click. And he didn't say much to me. I didn't say much to him, but we sort of read one another and just had a feel for one another. I mean, sometimes he'd run the wrong route, but it's like I expected him to run the wrong route, and we'd be on the same page. And it's one of those things you get with the guy, and it's something. I'm glad he was a sophomore that year because I was able to have him for 3 more years. I could sort of sense the popularity growing a little bit. I don't know whether I was a star at that point, but I was the quarterback at a high-profile program like Tennessee, and felt I was recognized at more places. Although I could still do things at that point. It wasn't just wild and crazy. It was, hey, there's Peyton over there, and signed some autographs, but it wasn't quite the level that it is now. But the popularity had increased. I thought the off season between my freshman and sophomore year was big because it was a time to develop physically. Really gained some strength that year.
And the surprising part was how much he threw himself in the weight room and worked, and he came out of there was nothing dry on him.
Probably played the following year at maybe 212, around there. I put on some quality weight, quality muscle, decreased in body fat. So I had a good off season in summer in the weight room. Changed one thing about my throwing motion, sort of raised the ball up a little bit higher, just tried to quicken my release, and I thought that was more accurate. My freshman year, I found myself, I was bringing the ball a little bit lower, and the motion was good. It was just taking long to get rid of the ball, so I figured guys blitzing, guys coming, just raise the ball up a little bit. When he's open, the ball's up a little higher, and the ball's gone a lot sooner. So the ball's here, comes open, the ball's out.
That's not a very easy thing to do. That's a very difficult task for a quarterback. You've been holding the ball the same way, and that ball feels comfortable in your hand. And we've taken the nose of the ball and moved it. What actually has changed where the ball's sitting in his fingers, and so that was an intense period for us to work through that to make sure he could, number one, be as effective, be as accurate, and feel comfortable about it. We felt like it was a better release, a quicker release. Like everything else he's done, he went and worked hard at it. You know, there's things of throwing the football's rhythm and feet and a lot of things besides just what you see in the arm motion. So all those times were intense times for Peyton because he never wanted to stop getting better. That's an example of little things that Peyton has worked on to make himself as good as he can be.
Georgia game my sophomore year was kind of, I guess, my coming out party, I think, where I played a whole game, where I made a lot of different reads, saw a lot of different defenses, and played a full college game. ESPN game Saturday night, first SEC game, and a little different from the Alabama game. It was a huge, big game, but I was going to play the whole time. So it was the next big game for me as a starting quarterback at Tennessee.
It's going to be a play action going deep down across the middle. Pass downfield is complete to Joey Kent on a diving grab at the 16-yard line. Manning sizes up that defense. There may come with a blitz. Here they come. Manning senses it. In trouble. Rolls to the right side. He's going to run with the football. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. Touchdown, Peyton Manning.
I hadn't really gotten the ball to Joey Kent a lot early in the game. Hit him on a long post, and I remember about the third quarter, he said, "Get me involved. Get me involved. I want to be involved." That's all he said. He didn't complain. He didn't say, "You're not throwing to me." He said, "Just get me involved, Peyton." I remember I went to him 3 times in a row.
Then Manning back to throw, looking into the end zone for the post route. Touchdown, Big Hornet.
I kind of asked him, I said, is that involved for you? And he was happy. But that's how Joey was. He never complained. He was just, "Hey, I can help you out." I hadn't played perfect, but I played well up to that point. Really hadn't done anything wrong up until late in the fourth quarter. And scrambled left and kind of had a guy in my face and threw back across the field and across my body, and just #1 sin for a quarterback. And I just put our team in a situation where we might lose the game. If they score or get a field goal, this game's over, and it's my fault. Usually you don't get second chances. You want to do it the first time, but we did get a second chance.
And so here comes Manning out, marshaling his forces. It's tied at 27-27. Here comes the pressure. Manning dumps it out to Graham, makes the catch to the 35, to the 40, breaks the tackle, 45, has the ball 50, 45, 40. Graham with the ball rolled out of bounds. As he
got in good field position, and of course Jeff Hall makes that field goal, and the rest is history.
Did he make it? The crowd's Eljo. Georgia! Tennessee 30, Georgia 27.
It was a team effort, but I felt like I played well and really helped the team win the game that night. Whereas at other times I sort of just did my part and tried not to get the team beat. Whereas that team, I wanted to help them win. I felt like on that night I did do that. 300 yards is fun for a quarterback to throw for, and but bringing them back the way our offense did, being down and then coming back and winning in the last seconds of a game is always exciting, no matter what position you play. When you're a quarterback, it's even more fulfilling.
I tell you what, I don't think that I've ever seen a guy step up to the plate consistently, made a mistake, threw that ball scrambling back over the middle, then came right back, showed the character. Peyton Manning! Yeah! Well done, man.
Well, it's games like this you come to Tennessee for. I mean, SEC rival against Georgia, playing in front of ESPN, in front of 90-some-odd thousand. That's why you come here. That's why you play football. And there's a lot of fun out there tonight. As the game went along, got a lot more comfortable. I thought we could throw the ball on them and move the ball downfield, and it was a big win for us.
No rest for the weary. The Gators are coming up.
Hey, that's what this season's all about. Florida's the SEC champion. Everybody in the conference is chasing them, and so it'll be a big game.
I feel like a much more confident quarterback, and that's all the difference in the world is just 100% confidence in yourself that you can do it. And so after that Georgia game, things just started building and started getting better each week, I felt like.
As Manning is back to throw, he's going to make the long pass downfield, a pass complete, pulled down at the 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, down to the 9-yard line goes Joey Kent.
Hit Joey on the first play down the sidelines and hit Marcus on the second play, and all of a sudden we're 7-0, and the game's just started. And so we feel like, might not blow them out, but we feel like this game should be ours. And that game just, it's hard to even talk about, the way it just turned around.
First half really came out fired up. Everybody was kind of, passes were being completed. Jay was running the ball well, and really moving the ball and taking advantage of opportunities. And the second half really came out and did the same thing. We were moving the ball, just had some mistakes and kind of shot ourselves in the foot. And when you do that, it's hard to beat a team like Florida.
It's the key game of the year as the Volunteers stream onto the field in Fayetteville.
It was my first game facing a true blitzing defense. Joe Lee Dunn's going to bring the safety, the corner, every single linebacker. You don't know where they're coming from. So this was my first real test as a starting quarterback. can he handle the pressure, can he handle the blitz? And so I wanted to do well.
What happened on that?
So I watched a lot of film that week, felt real comfortable going in, but was nervous at the same time as to, can I get the team in the right position to block the blitz? That's why it was one of my better games, because there was never a time when I didn't get myself protected. I always had time to throw and picked out the right receivers. So those are the kind of games that I think I play better in, when you're doing more things, even if you throw 0 touchdowns the whole game, when you're playing the games within the game. Those are the fun things for me. I mean, every play was having to say something at the line. It's having to check off and telling the back who to block and running to the left tackle, to the right tackle, because it was loud at the same time. But when you do that during a play and you drop back and you have time and you throw a completion or a touchdown, it's such a sense of accomplishment because you've worked so hard during that play. A lot of times I think quarterbacking is easy. You drop back and you throw it. But when you work hard before the play, within a 25-second clock, and you get something done, it's a good feeling. So to get that done consistently throughout that entire game and to get a big win on the road, that was a special day for me.
They're a blitzing team. That's their focus. So the intimidation of the quarterback's the whole deal.
And we might have a roughing the passer.
Got his back to a defender, and the guy comes over there and tries to flatten him, try to knock his head off.
Yeah, it hit me in the back, and it was intentional.
Arkansas got on the wrong side of Peyton Manning.
Anthony Hicks is back there. He and Peyton Manning are talking.
I'm not taking that, and I gave him a little lip service, and I just let him know that I didn't like it one bit.
All those linemen now listened. All the other people listened around him because he had earned their respect.
I wanted to be the leader, and I wanted them to kind of follow me, I guess, and that was important to me. That's the first thing I found out when I got to Tennessee. They just said, Peyton, just beat Alabama for us. Realized we hadn't beaten them in a long time, but we felt like, hey, we're a better team this year. I'm not going to let a freak play or a block kick or a tip pass stop us this year. We're going to beat them, and we got a chance to beat them badly.
Tennessee says this really is a new year. Tennessee plays Alabama in Birmingham.
In the locker room before the game, I remember Coach Cutcliffe telling me, I'm thinking about opening it up with the pass play.
The Volunteers with a single running back, that being Graham. So there's a tight end for the Vols to the right side.
And sometimes he changes his mind before the game, but in this game he stayed with it.
This will be Manning. Back to throw. Across the middle, pass complete. Ball down at the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5.
It opened up just like he drew it up on a chalkboard.
What did he do? All he did was score.
A touchdown the first play of the game doesn't happen very often, but after that, you knew that game was over.
Touchdown on play number 1.
I was so fired up, and we hit that touchdown the first play, and it was like a party the whole night. I mean, Alabama played tough, but we felt like it was our game, and it was. It was fun the entire night.
Tennessee to the line. The Volunteers with the football. This is Manning. It is second down, apparently.
It's called two power, and Coach Sanders just points. That's the signal. Points at me and kind of get it. I'm excited, but just go into the huddle and just call the play. And just call, power right, two power on one, ready, break.
This will be Graham. No, it's Manning.
Just knowing the whole time I'm gonna keep the ball, and I remember I almost fumbled the snap. I remember, golly, what I'd have fumbled that snap. I never would have lived that down, and so I almost fumbled the snap. But the fact that I was kind of late even made it better, because the outside backers were coming fast, and they got so close, and they thought, well, I'm going to hit Jay Graham in the backfield. Well, just faked it, and my dad always told me you got to have ice water in your veins, and just held it for that 1 second, and then rolled out, and of course nobody's out there.
On the naked handoff, reverse to the left side. Nobody even knows who's got the ball except Peyton Manning. He's got the ball, and where is he? In the end zone for 6.
It was a great picture of that play, and the best part about it is that he's got the referee signaling touchdown, but watching Jay Graham, thinking he scored. On film, it's got Jason Lehman seeing Jay score. He's putting his hands up because he has no idea who has the ball. That was a shining moment for me.
Manning for Tennessee, being pressured, throws the ball across the middle, complete. Ball down at the 15, at the 5, at the 4, at the 3, at the 2, at the 1. Give him 6. Touchdown, Marcus Nash. Manning stood in there. They were coming after him. He stood there, he ripped that football, Nash pulled her down, and drives in to score.
The celebration with all the seniors and the coaches that hadn't beaten them in so long, to see how good they felt about it, it made me feel so good.
We gave them a lot of different looks, and like I said, our receivers is one of the strengths of our game. They ran great routes, but I mean, what great protection we had, and Jay popping that long run, that was huge. It was a matter of us came out, started hot early on, and answered when Alabama had a big play. So it was just a good overall team effort.
I kind of realized what we'd done. I realized it was more than just a win on a Saturday night. It meant a lot.
If we can keep winning ball games, that's the most fun for me.
I'm a little bit prejudiced, but you are the best quarterback in the nation.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. Like I said, just a big win tonight, but I appreciate it.
Peyton Manning with a little out pattern.
To win that game against Ohio State was a huge win for our program, for Coach Fulmer, and for me personally, because we beat a great team, a team that could have been the national champions that year. So that was a big win for us. And so, sure, you wanted to be number one, you wanted to go undefeated, but finish number 2 in the country ahead of Florida, who had beaten us early in the season. We felt we had done something special that year, and just had our emotions flying high going into the off season of the next year. Number 1 in the country, it just sounds so good, but it's so much better after the season. And Coach Fulmer told us early, don't believe the hype. You hear that expression all the time, don't believe you're number 1. Let's be number 1 after the season. Well, it's just hard not to get caught into that. And we had a lot of players who believed that, and you want to be confident, but you want to just be humble going in and just say, hey, we're going to earn our way there. We were, I don't know, overconfident, but we believed the number 1 ranking and got caught up into that and ended up hurting us.
Tennessee in the second half unable really to sustain an offensive drive. Still trying to decipher the defense.
It's late in the game, the fourth quarter. I was just sitting there thinking, if we get stopped here and we punt it back to them, they drive down and score, we're the number 1 ranked team. It's a major upset. There's no way we can lose this game. If you have to do something different, take it into your own hands, let's do it. And then got him to Joey on the sidelines and just said, next time we check off, run the hitch and go. Got to the line on a 3rd down play. We had a running play called, and they had everybody up on the line of scrimmage. And kind of when I checked off at first, I almost forgotten that Joey and I had the special play on. But then I remembered and just worked perfectly.
Adjusting the play, Manning fakes. Here goes the give and go route downfield, complete. 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5. Touchdown, Joey Kent. A magnificently executed play.
Guys said they could hear on the sidelines the cornerback going, oh God, and, as he's biting the fake, and Joey's wide open and put the game away.
Brilliant play, Peyton Manning, Joey Kent.
It's kind of one of those plays that, yeah, if you're a veteran, you've been around, you can change something like that and get away with it as long as it works. Disappointing, because we thought we had a better team than we did. I just didn't play well in that first half, throwing 4 interceptions, and a couple of them were freak plays on some tip balls, but just we had some chances to score, and we didn't score, and it really could have changed the course of that ball game.
Manning, under pressure, steps up, long pass downfield, looking here for Fearless Price, complete at the 35, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Tennessee. Manning keeps, throws into the end zone, touchdown, Eric Lane. Tennessee has outscored them 22 zip since that point, but Florida, as Tennessee goes with Manning back to throw into the end zone, complete.
If we would have just played like we did in the second half, in the first half, well, we could have won that game. So, but after that game, it was a disappointing feeling. Stats in games you lose really don't mean much. I knew I was going to have mixed emotions on the Thursday night game in Memphis. And sure enough, during warm-ups and hearing Hotty Toddy and Dixie and seeing Ole Miss's colors on the opposite side of the field, it was a different feeling for me. It was a strange situation because it was an Ole Miss legend, and his son was playing for one of their biggest rivalries, and the two teams were playing against one another. It was a great story. Yeah, that's what he said. He said, "Peyton, you go play the game and let us handle this." And I know he was nervous during that game. I know he wanted me to play well. I know he wanted, wanted Tennessee to win the ball game because he was pulling for me, and it was tough. They were asking him who he was going for. But it was a no-brainer. He's going to pull for his son. It's just a normal thing to do. And so I know that was a tough week for him. I was intense that week because I sure didn't want to go down there in front of a lot of people watching me and just flop and play badly and lose because I knew I'd never hear the end of it. It was a great atmosphere down there on a Thursday night game. You knew the whole country was watching. Just played well on both sides of the ball. Jay ran the ball well. We were something like 18 for 22, didn't miss many passes, and it was really just a game where things went well the entire night. And it was a huge win for our team, but yeah, it was a good feeling for me saying I'm glad all that's over with. My dad can sleep the rest of the year. He can relax a little bit.
I was excited about the game coming into the game and just getting out there and hearing Ole Miss fight songs. I was excited about playing in the football game. And once the game started, we were playing the SEC team, and it was a good team Ole Miss had, but Tennessee came out and did a good job tonight. We're just got to keep working, just try and keep getting better. We did a lot of good things tonight, made some mistakes also, so we try and learn from those and have a big challenge on the road at Georgia. It'll be a tough SEC game for us.
That game I can watch over and over and over again and have fun and laugh.
Georgia coming with pressure. Manning in trouble. Rolls to the left side, looking to throw. Manning steps, throws the ball down into the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown, Tennessee, Joey Kent.
It was definitely a night I had a lot of fun, but I think it's the best game that I've played just because just things were clicking. Making plays that quarterbacks aren't supposed to make when things are going wrong. Just one of those nights, and I didn't know I was going to have a night like that, but it was a special night.
Georgia's expecting the sneak. Manning sneaks, edges forward, falls down, has no whistle yet. Manning rolling to the right side, motions to throws down into the end zone, and it is touchdown, Tennessee!
I remember going up before the play, before the actual snap, and hearing our center, Brent Gibson, just say, there's no way in the world we're going to make this. He was saying, oh, God. I mean, they had 200- or 320-pound defensive tackle just right on top of him. He was just, I remember him going, for me, that's not what I want to hear as a quarterback. I want to hear, let's go, follow me. And usually on a sneak, though, the center will kind of say right or left or straight. And he's just going, And so you can't check off from a sneak. And so I'm getting low and I'm kind of pushing forward, but just not going anywhere. I kind of get stood up. And one of their guys stands me up and just nobody grabs my feet. Nobody knocks me down. So kind of back up and waiting for a whistle to blow or something. And just kind of get out of there, and you see some of their players standing still. It's a strange feeling because you have the ball and you just don't see guys just standing still and rolling out right. And well, then obviously looking to throw it. But first thing I did was I checked who was downfield to see if there were any linemen downfield. It's usually something you wouldn't remember during that time, but I actually took the time to do that. And then all of a sudden you see Marcus Nash kind of just dancing in the back of the end zone, running this way, running that way. He has kind of a weird look in his eyes. He's going, Peyton, what are you doing back there on a sneak? And did a great job by him in getting open and just threw it, and he made a great catch. And it's just a play you laugh at. You can't do anything else but laugh. You can't say it was skill. It was funny. It'll never happen again in my career. And in TV, a lot of times they always have you mic'd. They don't have you mic'd, but they always can hear your comments come to the coach. I remember telling the coach, "Great call."
Great call. Call play.
I remember he told me, he said, "What in the hell am I supposed to tell the media?" I remember he said that was the first thing he said, and I said, "Tell him it's a called play." And actually, he and Cutcliffe and I sort of got a strategy before the media interviews to kind of figure out what we were going to say. But you can't say anything about it. It was just a quarterback sneak that went bad, and just two players making a play. And Alabama's good. Alabama's better than the year before. It's not Tennessee, Alabama. It's two good teams playing one another.
Back to throw looking. Here's the pass on a hitch and go downfield. Chasing will be Kent. He pulls it down, and he is ruled inbounds, I think.
I didn't play particularly well, but made enough plays, to score some points.
8-man front. Here's the pass across the middle. Pulled down by Kent at the 50, to the 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15, 10, 5. Give him 6. Touchdown, Tennessee! Alabama, 3rd down, 12 yards to go. Leading 13-6. Kitchens back to throw. Being pressured. Kitchens, downfield pass, intercepted. Tennessee at the 20.
Offensive coordinator is going to take some credit, and he was just saying, I thought we had a chance to break it. I believe him. I mean, he's my coach. I believe him. But kind of playing for overtime at that point. Obviously, playing not to lose, playing not to turn the ball over and give them a shot at the field goal. But 2 running plays in a row. We get stuffed on the first one. We're on 20-yard line. We call the same play again. I was kind of thinking maybe a play-action play, try to hit a big one, something safe. Calls the same play again.
He gives the ball off Graham, trucking through the right side of the line. He got running room. Graham turns the corner. He's at the 25, to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50. Jay Graham, 80 yards, touchdown, Tennessee.
A perfectly diagrammed, you know, it's like those old plays back in the 20s and 30s when they actually draw the blocking schemes up. I mean, it was Spencer Riley pulls right, blocks the safety, fullback gets a good block, and Jay just sneaks through the hole. And just like the year before, he's down the sidelines, and they just can't catch him. And it's so funny to watch the film because you see their players looking at one another like, are you going to get him? No, I'm not getting him. You go get him. And they can't catch him. And once again, it's one of those feelings as a quarterback, you're back and you're watching, and it's a great feeling. And of course, like Bubba told me, I'm jogging to the end zone to congratulate everybody.
Manning straight drop, being pressured, pass downfield is complete.
In 95, we beat them. We beat them badly. It was our game. In 96, we sort of beat them the way they'd beaten us for the 10 years they beat us in a row. I mean, they were leading the game. We came back. You know, an 80-yard run with a couple minutes left, not supposed to happen, and they knew that, and we knew it. But you know, we were going to take it. It was a big win. You know, they're talking about coming out. I was playing well enough at that point when I thought, maybe, you know, I had confidence that I was good enough. Around that Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina span, I just kind of figured I was leaving. I was playing well, and I was having a good junior year. And the reason I say I was leaving because I was proving to myself that, hey, I think I'm ready to leave. You know, you hear rumors early, well, Manning will be the top pick in the draft. Well, I don't know if I don't believe them at that point. I want to make sure that I'm ready. And so I was playing well enough, I thought, hey, maybe I am ready to leave. As I look back on it now, I don't know if I've ever felt worse after a game than the Memphis game. I remember coming into the locker room after that game and the teams gathering in, and I was sort of one of the last ones to get out just because I was just so slow walking, and just went into the shower by myself and just sat down and just kind of just thought, did this really just happen? I mean, there's no way this could have happened, and sort of having to face up to reality. And you just wanted to stay there the entire night and not go out and see anybody, not have to see the media or see your parents or anybody. You're just so disappointed. But it's part of football, and you learn a lesson from that, and you get up and you handle it like a man.
Any competitor is going to hate to lose, you know, in a game when you think you should have won. You know, obviously it's more disappointing, but Memphis came out and played great football today. And, you know, this flat whipped us tonight.
I had the worst loss of my career, then I get hurt, and so, yeah, maybe I am thinking maybe it is time to leave for sure. But you know, the injury thing, it probably looked a little worse than it was. But I was able to play the next week. I was able to play that entire game.
Manning off play action, looking across the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Joey Kent.
I've been fortunate in my first 2 years not to have gotten hurt at all and to get hurt that game, but to be able to play, it was a wake-up call, and it made me sort of reconsider some things. Had a sort of a special approach during that week of practice, you know, possibly doing everything for the last time. And I really wanted to play well for the seniors, guys like Joey Kent, who I'd gotten to be tight with, Jay Graham, Tyrone Hines. It was their last game, and it was supposed to be done right, and we ended up doing it right. But I remember before the game, I just said something like, you know, being a senior at Tennessee is the most special thing in the world. We need to send these guys out the right way. I mean, this is a special place, and it's got to be a great feeling to be a senior and to win your last game at home. And I saw him kind of look back like, did I hear Peyton just say this? And maybe I didn't think twice about saying it, but it's how I felt. It's how I felt. And if I were to have left, I was going to miss being a senior at Tennessee. And, of course, we played well that game.
Manning, straight drop, pressure applied. Manning down deep into the end zone. This is going to be touchdown, Andy McCullough. Looking, waiting. Here's the pass across the middle. It is complete to Tennessee. Pull down to the 40, 45-50, 45-40. Fearless Price, 35-30, 25-20, 15, 10, 5. Give it to him. 80 yards.
But even walking off the field after the game, sort of looked around and walked off slowly, thinking it might have been the last time. Yeah, I mean, I was flattered by that, and I enjoyed that moment. And, you know, sort of playing along like you don't hear them. Yeah, I enjoyed that. You know, it's their fault. They screwed me up. They had my mind all mixed up. And so the bowl game, I was mixed emotionally about what I was going to do.
As Tennessee comes with Manning. Back to throw on first down. Pumping. Here's a long pass across the middle. It is complete. Pulled down by Tennessee at the 15. Down to the 10. Down to the 5. Into the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown!
I threw for 400 yards against Northwestern in the bowl game. My favorite play the entire day was when they were showing blitz. We had a run play called, and I checked to a pass, and all of a sudden they checked out into a zone. And right as they were checking, I was checking back into a run. And that was my favorite play because I knew that I was kind of beating that defensive coordinator on that play. And Coach Fulmer didn't even know why I was so happy. I was celebrating. I said, yeah, so what, now, you know, I know what I'm doing. And so those are things I really enjoy about college football.
No, it is Manning on a bootleg. He faked the give. He goes skirting the left side of the line. Nobody knew he had the football. Where is he?
And, of course, this was when the speculation about what I was going to do was kind of heating up, and everybody was asking me, is this your last game in Neyland Stadium? That was probably the worst part about it, just about people wouldn't really leave me alone. I wanted to take time to seek a lot of advice and make the best decision possible. You know, all these pro people I talked to, all of them said, do what you want to do, but if it were me, I'd go pro. And so you kind of check that down in your notebook, and as you look at the list, you're saying, there are awfully a lot of more reasons to go pro than there are to stay. I sort of thought about how I would feel if I were to leave a year from now. When I look back, and I just said, I will look back. There's no question about it. I will look back and ask myself, what could I have done my senior year? What did I miss? And I just thought, no matter what I do my senior year, I don't want to have that feeling. I don't want to look back. I was happy, and I couldn't lie to myself. I said, I'm happy here. I'm having fun. I like what I'm doing. I like the people. I love the fans. You know, why am I even considering leaving? Well, probably the most agonizing part of it was being asked so many times, what was I going to do? And the funny thing is that everybody seemed to know what I was going to do before I made my decision. Everybody had their own ideas, and I kept telling everybody, look, I might stay. Just give me a chance, give me a little time. I'll announce it before too long. I sort of felt it that weekend. I talked to my dad on Saturday. He said, Peyton, just sleep on it these past couple of days. You're in no rush. You have a whole another month to make the decision. Just take your time with it. And I slept on it and slept on it. Then Monday night, I was talking to him, and he said, Peyton, what do you want to do? I said, Dad, I want to sleep on it one more night. Then Tuesday morning, I woke up early, called him at about 8 o'clock and said, Dad, this is what I want to do. It's what I feel in my heart. I'm just lying to myself if I'm telling myself I don't want to do this. This is what I want to do. Y'all get up here and let's announce tomorrow.
I present Peyton Manning.
I'm not going to try and make this a dramatic ordeal, but there are a few comments I'd like to make. I guess the one thing that's been running through my mind over and over the past couple of months has been to hurry up and know, Peyton, hurry up and know. That's what I've been telling myself. Well, yesterday morning I woke up with a huge sense of relief because I finally knew what I was going to do. As difficult as it's been, I knew I couldn't make a bad decision. But I knew whatever decision I made had to be my own decision and nobody else's. Somebody asked me this morning, what was the one thing that helped sway my opinion and help me decide? Well, there wasn't one thing. It was just like when I signed here. It was just sort of a feeling. I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
That's a hard act to follow. This is truly a great day for Tennessee football. Today, he totally endeared himself to the Tennessee people.
Coach Fulmer just told me I could call my own plays next year just now. Nobody thought that I might stay. Nobody listened to me when I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to weigh out all the options. Everybody just thought I was lying just to cover myself and that I was really leaving all the time. So that's why these people were just so surprised and so happy, I guess. It's a sense of accomplishment, and one of the things I'm most proud of during my college career, it's an accomplishment. And so getting my diploma on that day was a special feeling. My parents taught me education before football, and they, every night on the phone, they remind me of that. And so that, that was important to me.
Let me know when you guys are set. Yeah, no fun. You okay with this? You don't mind this? It's just going to hit the ball. You might want to get around behind.
The media is something my dad sort of told me to get ready for if you want to be a good player at a major program like Tennessee. And I've always had good experiences with the media. Yeah, it's funny when you're moving into two-a-days and you're just getting there ready for practice, which is not much fun for a lot of people, and you got cameras filming what you've packed and what all you're bringing into your room. Yeah, that's a little different. There we go. All right. Because you're at Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee's a high-profile program. It's not because of who you are, because you're the quarterback at Tennessee. So you might as well accept it. We beat Alabama my sophomore year, and everybody else is celebrating, and I'm doing interviews. I don't get to celebrate.
I'm depriving this man of his once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here.
Everybody was over there going crazy. I didn't get to get any of it. By the time I finished my interviews, they were into the locker room. It was really something that kind of bothered me, even though the locker room celebration was great. But I missed the on-the-field activities. But it's never been a problem for me, but it's part of the job. And I've enjoyed getting to know a lot of members of the media and doing it the right way, because you're doing the interviews with the media, but you're doing interviews with the fans too, and you're sort of letting them get to know you. And I've always wanted people to see me the right way, so I always thought it was important to do a good job with the media. But yeah, it's been fun at times.
Right T, 28-0 to someone, eh?
That summer, and really throughout my entire senior year, it was a relaxed atmosphere. I could just play football and have fun.
Film guy, baby. Film guy.
I've worked real hard this summer. I feel like I'm a better player. I am pretty tough for myself. I'm never really satisfied with my performance. I'm always wanting to get better. There's always another level you can take it to. Somebody's always out there doing it a little bit better, and so I feel like I can always try and get to the next level. With the coin toss this year and Leonard and I going out early, it's fun because it's just building and building closer to the moment, and that's kind of how I prepare for game day. Everything is a step closer to game day. The walk to the stadium, the time in the locker room, and then the coin toss is about as close as you get to it. And it's kind of when that tunnel vision sort of zeroing in. You're really getting ready to go to war.
Manning looking down, goes the pass. It is complete into the end zone. Touchdown, Marcus Nash.
Played Texas Tech, had a good win, like you said. Against UCLA, came out in the first half.
Waiting for the snap, he gets it. Stands up, throws across the middle, caught at the 15, to the 10, to the 5, into the end zone. Give him 6. As Manning fakes the give, looks to throw, being rushed, throws the ball down into the end zone. It is touchdown, Big Orange. I don't believe it.
Kind of let them creep back into it. Then we were off for a week, and went down and played Florida, didn't play very well, got beat. Then we're off for another week. And it's just, I mean, there were some teams that were 4-0, 5-0, and here we were 2-1 at that point. Just hadn't played a whole lot of football. And everybody's so down. You play poorly in the second half against UCLA, and the locker room's like a morgue. Just shoot ourselves in the foot. If you're going to turn the ball over to a good offensive team, it sure is hard to win. And it's a shame that it's that way, because in the NFL, take a close win like that, and everybody's celebrating, high-five, and you take it and you get out of there and you're unbelievably excited. But we act like we lose, and it shouldn't be that way. But with the polls the way it is now, and with only 11 games to play, that's kind of what college football's turned into. They were saying, can he beat Florida? This is the big one. I didn't see it that way. It's one thing if for the past 3 years that we would have lost to Memphis State every year if we would have lost to them. But Florida's a good team that just won the national championship. They're a good team, and the simple fact is if you don't play well enough, you won't beat them.
There's a pass into the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown, Big Orange.
Peyton, where does this team go from here?
Well, hopefully up. There's still plenty to play for. You know, people are going to make jokes and things like that. We still have plenty to play for, and you know, and I apologize to the fans and the coaches and the people that wanted this game so badly for not getting the job done. But we'll bounce back and be ready to go in 2 weeks.
The reason I apologize, I guess, is because I would like to have done my part a little bit better. I mean, I realized I couldn't beat them on my own, but I could have helped, you know, my team win. And so I just, you know, I mean, because we're not talking about college football again. Fans have talked about that game all season long. I said, Peyton, we're going to get Florida this year. I said, well, we're going to give it our best shot. You know, and so you want to win for those people and for those fans that made the trip down there. So I wanted to do my part a little bit better, and that's why it came out that way.
Florida can celebrate.
It was disappointing. It was hard walking off that field knowing this was my last chance. I mean, you know, and we didn't get it done. And you know, whereas years before you could say, we'll get them next year. And you said a million times, I didn't come back to beat Florida. I didn't come back to win the Heisman to win this. And you say, well, Peyton, you know, is it true or not? And when you ask yourself, I kind of answered, you know, it's not the reason I came back. We lost. I'm mad, but we're going to move on. And we can have a lot more fun this year. And if we were to possibly win an SEC championship, I think it'd make it, you know, at least this year, it would negate the loss to Florida.
Hey, hold on, listen to that 1 second.
Captain, come.
1 second. Hold that real quick. Hey, listen up. Hey, we're all alike here. You know, the crowd's not into it. You're saying, well, we would have beaten Florida. They would have been into it. Listen up.
Everybody was like, I don't want to hear a pep talk, you know, and you had a lot of guys believing Citrus Bowl is where we were headed, so you had to work even harder to get it fired up, and you had to kind of be creative. And you know, going up against Ole Miss, tried to give them a little speech. Instead of saying, go get it, I tried to give it a little different approach. You know, I remember telling them,
forget about last week. Hey, this is it for a lot of us, man. The NFL is no fun anyway.
And I don't care what we do. Let's just have fun. I remember telling them, if I score, I'm going to jump in the end zone like the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to jump in the stands. I remember telling them that. And just to get back having fun again, that's the only approach I knew how to do it. Let's play loose. Let's have fun. I mean, you want to win. I wanted to win. I didn't say, let's go get beat and have fun, but let's just play loose. I think from that point on, we were a loose football team. And going into that season, we were just hoping the running game might appear sometime, but thinking we can do it without it, but knowing deep down it wasn't going to happen. We needed to find a running game, needed to find a running back. And sure enough, for the Ole Miss game, the rest of the season, Jamal Lewis emerged. It really just took a lot of pressure off me because it put me back in an offense that I was used to running. I was used to having James Stewart, Jay Graham, Aaron Hayden, and all of a sudden I had Jamal Lewis, and they respected the run, and so we could set them up with the run and beat them with the pass. Set them up with the pass, beat them with the run, and so I was comfortable again. I was back in my comfort zone, and I started playing better football from that point on.
Running back Lewis is Manning back to throw, looks for Lewis and set across the middle. Pulled down at the 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Marcus Nash.
It kind of allowed me to sort of use my knowledge and use my abilities to its full extent, and I ended up winning the rest of the games that season because of getting that balance back in our offense.
It's football time in Tennessee.
The Georgia team was undefeated at that point, thought they were going to win, and so the atmosphere was there. We threw all over them. I mean, everybody was catching passes and had protection the entire day. We beat them badly, just like we beat Alabama badly in '95. So that game, as far as putting it all together, was a perfect illustration of how good our team can be when we have a running game and a passing game.
Tennessee on first down and goal. Manning looking. Pass downfield is pulled down by Price at the 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. Touchdown, Peerless Price.
Peyton Manning, 31 of 40 for 343 yards, 4 touchdowns.
We're throwing on first down, we're running on third down. Those are the things you can do when you have a good balanced offense. And that's what a Tennessee offense is supposed to be like.
It's another game next week, but it is Alabama. No different.
It is Alabama, and everything that's happened, in years past and so far this season means nothing in that series. Anything goes, going down there for an all-out SEC war, but we're excited about it.
I called the first 2 coin tosses. We played at UCLA and at Florida, and I lost both. Called heads on both. It was Leonard Leonard has a big head, and so I decided to call heads in honor of him. I lost both, and so we were going out to play Alabama, and I said, Leonard, I'm 0 for 2, you need to call this one. And the refs right there listening to us, I think he was surprised that he and I were so loose talking before the game. I said, Leonard, you call this one, we need to win this coin toss. And sure enough, he called tails, and we won the toss, and took the ball. So I'm glad having him right by my side on that, because he and I are such good friends, and with the captains, it's good having a guy right there knowing you're going to war with him, that's your good friend also. It was a different approach to the game than it was the 2 years before, but after, it was the same sweet feeling.
Alabama coming with 3 down linemen to rush. Manning throwing the ball deep down into the end zone. It is taken. Touchdown, Jermaine Copeland. Was he on target, or was Manning on target? Manning back to throw into the end zone. It is complete.
Once it went 28-14, I knew we needed the play to break their backs. 2 years ago, it was Jay's 80-yard run. And this year, it was the hitch and go to Peerless. A great job by him reading the corner. The corner was being very aggressive. Obviously, they were trying to make a play. And so I think Townsend was trying to get the interception. Great job of Peerless catching it, getting in the end zone.
It's funny because right after the game, most of our players ran right over to the student section or to the fans and started celebrating it. And I wanted to go talk to a couple of their players. I wanted to talk to Freddie Kitchens, their quarterback, and just talk to him. I always like to talk to quarterbacks of other teams we play. So did that, and then I was sort of headed that way. I wanted to participate in all the post-game activities, and those cameras were again. And I said, I'm not missing out again. I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to have a little fun now. So I went over to the fans and threw my sweatbands and towels into the crowd. And this guy comes up to me and says, would you mind directing the band? It's my senior year. I'm never going to have a chance to do it again. Sure, I'm going to do it. I'm going to direct the band. When the band leader asked me if you want to direct it, I didn't hesitate at all. I climbed up there, threw the guy off, and hopped up there. It was great because I was watching the band, and then once I saw they were kind of in rhythm and knew what they were doing, I kind of looked around and waved to other people, and it's something that was special because how many people can say they've directed the UT band, and just so much fun because you see the smiles on people's faces and how happy they were. Once again, just another reminder that where would I be if I decided to leave? I sure wouldn't be directing a college band at this point, and surely couldn't be enjoying myself as much as I am now.
Waiting on Peyton, I think they got what they wanted. 3 in a row, how does that feel?
Well, it's a great feeling, just because I know what Alabama football is, and it's a tough accomplishment, but it's a great job by the overall program, but it's something you'll always remember.
This team's been focused all year. I can't see anything changing down the line.
Well, I don't think so either. The score could have been different than that if we would have played a little bit better, so it's good. It's positive to see we can take it to a new level. The Tennessee-Alabama rivalry is so intense and so much history there. It's just special. It's special to say you played in that game, just to say you played against Alabama 3 years, but to say you've beaten them your last 3 years, it's even more special. In the eyes of other people, it's a bad game. We kind of had a game plan that really didn't fit their defense. We tried some deep stuff. They weren't going to give up any deep stuff. Had to throw the ball away a lot, and so the numbers weren't pretty. But just like it was my freshman year, we won the game, and that was really the most important thing at that point. Because it is a new season at this point, and I wasn't pulling for Georgia to beat Florida, but I can't say I was disappointed once they won. And so at that point, you want to call Marcus and Trey and Andy and say, hey, let's go to work now. I mean, it's a different season for us, and so that's why that next Monday, going into the game against Southern Miss, it was a new feeling for our team.
Off play action, Manning is going to go deep down into the end zone. It is Marcus Nash. Give it to him. Touchdown, Marcus Nash. Manning. What a performance. What a performance. But in this game, Arkansas has benefited from Tennessee turnovers.
Well, here's the Memphis of '97. It's time for Tennessee they lost to Florida, where they're going to screw it up here again. And just had a senior team all year long. The seniors have been the core of this team, and just kind of got in the huddle and just said, guys, it's not going to happen this year. We're going to make the play, put this game away, and get out of here. We had a shorter play called, but Marcus, I kind of told him, I said, Marcus, their defense is thinking it's going to be a short play. If they get cute and try to be aggressive, go right by them, and I'll put it up for you.
Manning throwing the ball deep downfield. The pass is going to be complete at the 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. Marcus Nash.
So that'll do it from Arkansas. As Tennessee wins.
Woo!
Big.
We have to learn from this game. We knew we'd have a game like this some point this season. We still may have a couple more like this. But for us to come down here and win in a hostile environment when Al Wilson gets hurt and things aren't clicking like they should be, for us to get the win shows a lot about our team, about our senior leadership, and the character of this team. So we're going to learn from our mistakes and get ready for a big game against Kentucky next week.
Manning back to throw. Gets some pressure. Pass is pulled down by Tennessee, and a miraculous catch by Marcus Nash, who makes the catch to the 45. He's down to the 40, down to the 35, 30, 25.
I can't lie, I really enjoyed myself during that game. I mean, I think everybody in the whole stadium did that day. Their fans, our fans, both coaches. I know Tim Couch and I both had a lot of fun that day, and I didn't anticipate that kind of day going in, but we had to. They were scoring a lot of points, and their defense wasn't stopping us, and just things were clicking on all cylinders. Actually, I remember exactly what we were saying. I remember Marcus and Andy and Peerless and I just pulling like crazy for the defense. Just stop and get us out there again, because we're going to score. We're going to score every time we get the ball. That was the feeling we had.
Manning back to throw, and the blitz is going long downfield into the end zone. Touchdown.
It was so frustrating having to wait to get out there, because they'd have these long drives where they'd score, but it was almost like, just let them score. Let them score, and we'll get out there again and we'll score again. And so it was kind of just, it's going to be high scoring, but we're going to have more points, because they are not going to stop us, and they sure didn't stop us many times.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 touchdowns, 525 yards.
My senior year playing at Vanderbilt is definitely my last game, so there's no second thoughts about it. You can enjoy everything about it, and it was a special week, but it really, everything was pretty magical, I thought, on Saturday against Vanderbilt. The walk to the stadium was one of the most unbelievable things I've ever been a part of. The fans were out so early in the morning and were just packed all over the streets and just cheering for our seniors and for our team, and that was something special. You wanted that walk to last forever. You wanted to go backwards and say, Coach, let's do it again. Let's come back and do it again.
Quarterback from New Orleans, Louisiana, number 16, Peyton Manning.
Before the game, going out to the tee individually is something every senior earns, and it's something that I wanted to have as a senior, and I really enjoyed that. I remember I kind of thought about what I was going to do before. I don't want to come out, but I certainly don't want to dance. I don't want to do anything that's not typical of me. But yeah, you kind of want to give a little wave to say bye and thanks. And then after the game, the celebration with the fans and the family. And that game was even more special because we had a chance to play for a championship. And directing the band again at home, yeah, that was fun. But that was a special day because of everything that it represented, and just one of those things that you want to last forever. Most excited I've ever been for a football game in my life. Without a doubt, the biggest game I've ever played in, and just really anxious. I can remember on the bus to the game, the bus ride's important. We were getting there. I remember we got there, and their buses had pulled in before us, and their team was getting off. Well, they took about 30 minutes to get their buses out the way. I think they did it on purpose. And I'm just sitting there. I'm almost to the Georgia Dome. We're almost there. I want to get in that stadium, get in that dome, and we had to wait, and it was just driving me crazy.
Off play action is going to throw the ball deep down toward the near sideline. It is touchdown, Tennessee! This is Manning passing, pulled down by Nash, who battles his way past the 20, then fumbles the football. It's picked up by Auburn at the 22, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Auburn!
It was. My dad still says it's the worst time he's ever had at a football game. But he just did not enjoy himself at all. I don't think any Tennessee fan did that night, because it's like we tried to give the game away. we kept fighting, and that was the core of my career and the seniors' career. We kept fighting all along, and we found a way to get it done.
And Tennessee runs a man in motion that way as well. As Manning throws to the right side, it is grabbed at the 30, breaking a tackle, 35-40, 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5, touchdown, Marcus Nash. With that pass, Manning becomes the SEC's all-time passing leader, so he has thrown for more yardage than any other passer in the history of the Southeastern Conference. The clock is counting down. The place is jammed. The Big Orange fans are happy. The Tennessee Volunteers, and you can count it down to 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. The champion of the Southeastern Conference for 1997, the University of Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee 30, Auburn 29.
We got our legs here, man. I love you, baby. I love you. Yeah.
Best play of my career, that victory play with 10 seconds to go in the game, because we had won the championship, and just, you know, let the party begin after that.
And this is why you play college football. This is why you play in the SEC. I mean,
it's why you stay your 4th year.
That's right. Well, it is. I mean, just came back, and obviously we set high goals, and you kind of prepare for anything that can happen. But just for our seniors, the way we kept believing, and Coach Fulmer, you give him so much credit. He's given us a great opportunity. He's gotten us ready to play every single ball game. He's one of the top coaches in the country, and we're just honored to play for him. But just like I keep coming back to the seniors, because we've been through so much during our 4 and 5 years here. For us to cap it off with a conference title, it's just it's an unbelievable feeling.
You know, of all people, I guess, to have gotten caught up in the hype, I never did. Everybody else did, you know, being the preseason favorite. But I sort of saw what was happening. I saw what was forming, and against Kentucky, I throw for 523 yards, which statistically is one of my best games, and played well. And I all of a sudden found out that I'm losing track in the Heisman ground. I realized that something's going on. If it's true that there was something, that there was a reason that I didn't win because of, you know, a Southern quarterback won it the year before, or it was because they didn't want the front runner to win it, yeah, that makes me mad. If they did that intentionally, you know, whether that's true or not, we'll never know. So by the decision to say I was surprised, no, I wasn't surprised. Disappointed, yes, because, like I said all along, for the Tennessee people and the people of New Orleans and just kind of my entire family, immediate family, and just all my friends, because I knew how bad they wanted me to win, to kind of bring it home to them, and I wanted to bring it home to them also. So disappointed for that, but for me personally, I was okay with it. It's a lesson you learn about life, that you don't play for individual awards, and you play for the team, and you play for the love of the game. And the fact that didn't work out, it's you know, my life will be fine without that. And always, every time I work out or practice it over at the complex, they have all the All-American pictures over there. And there's been a spot there, and they fill them in threes, and there's been 1, 2, and there's a spot there. And I've always thought that's my spot. It's been that way since, you know, my freshman year, and I always wanted to get that spot. Bobby Dodd and Peyton Manning are the 2 only All-American quarterbacks at Tennessee. That's to me, to be mentioned among Bobby Dodd, who was obviously a great coaching legend, but a famous player too. That's a tremendous honor for me just to be mentioned, but in that unique category is special.
As everybody knows, I passed up going to the pros and supposedly lots of money last year in order to stay amateur, to be a kid one more year, and to build more irreplaceable memories.
How are we going to manage without him?
Well, in the town where I was raised, the clock ticks and the cattle graze. Time passed with amazing grace back where I come from. Now you can lie on a riverbank or paint your name on a water tank.
It's about dreaming big and doing whatever's necessary day after day to make those dreams come true.
Back where I come from, where I'll be
There are so many awards given for individual accomplishments, but where are the Hall of Fames for teams? Without my team, I couldn't have accomplished a fraction of what people give me credit for.
We learned in the Sunday school who made the sunshine through. I know who made the moonshine too, back where I come from. Blue eyes on a Saturday night, tan legs in the broad daylight. TVs, they were black and white, back where I come from. Back where I come from, where I'll be when it's said and done. And I'm proud as anyone, that's where I come from. Some say it's a backward place, narrow minds on the narrow way. But I make it a point to say that's where I come from. That's where I come from, where I'll be when it's said and done. And I'm proud as anyone, that's where I come from. Back where I come from, I'm an old Tennessean.
I know it will be near impossible for many people here at Tennessee to remember me as anything but a football player. But in truth, I don't want to be remembered as a quarterback or number 16. I hope that someday I'll be remembered as a good person who happened to play football. I mean, if I went back and did it again, I wouldn't change one thing. I really wouldn't.